more. We're going to learn a little bit more about objects now. And like I said, Java is an object-oriented programming language. So again, I've created a little class called Intro to Objects. Here's my public static void main string args. I've also created a little class called Mystery Messenger, and you're not going to get to look inside there. But the idea is this is a class which will be a template for objects that we create. The first thing we need to learn how to do is how to create objects, and you've already seen this before, but if I want to create a mystery messenger object, what you do is you write the name of the class. Sorry, it's mystery messenger. Again, I'm announcing the variable here on the left, right? I'm creating a variable which can only point to mystery messenger objects, and I'm going to point it at a new mystery messenger object. And this keyword new causes Java to create a new object of that type in memory. And you always are going to have open and close parentheses at the end. This is actually called a constructor. You'll learn more about that later. But essentially just know that you rewrite the name of the class. You have to write it here, you have to write it here, and then over here you have parentheses. Sometimes you'll put stuff in the parentheses, which is feeding the new object some particular information. In this case, we're just going to leave it empty for now. You'll see I've got another example later. But this line of code, if I hit compile, should work. And sure enough, I've now created an object. And again, the object only exists in RAM, right? It's just ones and zeros. And that's what this side is the creation of the object. And this is the variable which is pointing at it. So I can now manipulate this object using the variable. In this case, we are going to be playing around with mystery messenger objects. And I've just designed this object to be able to create random string messages. So I'm going to call it, and then I'm going to call this variable some message. And the idea is I want this variable, this string variable, to catch whatever a mystery message is from this messenger. Messenger to dot get message. And if this compiles, it does, that means that get message is a behavior that I programmed for mystery messenger objects. And sure enough, I did. So this will catch something from it. So now what we should do is maybe go and see what that message is. And Mr. Hazard is boring. So that's great. That's the first message that the mystery messenger brought up. And if I do it again, it should be a different message. Call me maybe. Very good. Awesome. So you can tell that the idea is this messenger object, the mystery messenger objects, has a bunch of random strings and it's choosing them randomly, and when you call the get message method, it returns it. Now notice, I've created a string variable, I've created a string variable, and I'm pointing it at the result of calling the get message object. This highlighted portion becomes a string. We say that the get message method, this behavior is called a method, returns a string, and the idea is it goes and it executes what it needs to do, and this highlighted portion becomes the string. We can take this messenger object and we can dot add a message. This is some new message. Not very exciting, but if I hit compile, sure enough, that's okay. Now if I mistype this, let's say I say it's add with 3 Ds, what's going to happen? It's going to say cannot find symbol method add message. In other words, add with 3 Ds is not programmed, right? Mystery messenger object is not designed for this behavior. And just to make sure you understand this, if I did lowercase m, it also wouldn't understand it, right? It's not programmed to understand lowercase m. So you have to make sure you get all the cases right. But I did program the add message method, and now this should be a potential message that will come up. It probably won't because I've got a bunch of others. But notice that we have this object. It has now changed its state, right? It used to have a certain number of messages. Call me maybe was one. Mr. Hazard is boring is another. And now there's a new string that it might come up with. So objects are dynamic. They can change. Their values can change. Maybe one thing we should do is confirm that this some new message actually got added as a potential message. Does that sound good? Let's say while some message. So what this loop is doing is saying, well, first of all, some message is a string. You can ask strings if they are dot equal to some other string. This is a method. Strings are objects. So I can ask the string if it is equal to this string. exclamation point again means not. So as long as the some message variable is not equal to this is some new message, I'm going to take some message and reassign it to the next random message. And this loop will continue until it's equal. Now this will be an infinite loop unless this message was successfully added to the list of possible messages. Uh-oh, what did I do? I need another parenthesis. Miscounted. Compile, close. This is some new message. So sure enough, this line, this add message command worked just dandy. I also designed these things to have a mystery number. Okay, so what I've done is I've written a little loop. The loop will execute 5 times, and I'm system.out printlning. I'm telling the messenger object to go dot get mystery number. And the idea is I just fed this thing some random mystery number so we can find out what the mystery number is, and you'll see that it doesn't change. And you see the random number is 68. And you can't hang a man for killing a woman who was trying to steal your horse. Always remember that. I did design this class so that it will accept a number in the parentheses, and so you can create mystery messenger objects with numbers in there. We'll call it 55, and the idea is when you feed a number into here, I designed it so that that number would become the mystery number. So we can test this by creating an int num and assign it to be, find the messenger object, and call the get mystery num. Oh yeah, that was dumb. I'm creating a second object with the same name. This is a variable scope problem, right? We already have a variable called messenger in this scope, so I have to call this messenger 2 in order to stay in my right scope. And then this needs to be messenger 2, and I have the wrong method name. The name of the method is get mystery number. And if I compile it, I want to print up num, and you'll see that the number that gets printed up is 55. 55, sure enough. So this is how objects work. They have attributes, they have behaviors. Sometimes you can change the attributes. Another method that exists for this object is get num messages, and this will tell you how many messages are loaded in. So the problem is right here I'm executing the method, the number appears right here, but I'm not catching it, I'm not using it, so I need some variable. I'll just use num to be assigned, or to kind of catch the value that is returned by the get num messages method, and then I'll go print that up. So right now there are 10 different messages that this thing might display.